Dean Michael Kruger, would you please approach the podium? He's going to have a long discussion. I think he was going to talk about Les Miserables. Was that on the topic, or did I get that wrong? Please welcome Mike Kruger.
Thank you. No, we got the titles mixed up, right? So what I will do is give you a bit of an update on the College of Arts and Sciences here at USD. And I'd like to just start off by reminding you of our mission, which is, and I will read it out loud, through outstanding teaching and mentorship, cutting-edge research and creative scholarship, and committed service and engagement, the College of Arts and Sciences educates and graduates the leaders who will solve the future's most pressing challenges. And we do an abbreviated version. We go through an abbreviated version of the mission with each Chair's Council meeting. And this is it's a mission that all of the faculty and staff in the College of Arts and Sciences, I believe, very much adhere to, and it keeps them focused. And they remember why we're here. So let's go through the numbers. Numbers by themselves can't fully encapsulate what the College of Arts and Sciences is about, or what any entity is about, but it'll give you a bit of an understanding. From there, we'll take another look at the college. So the College of Arts and Sciences at the moment has 26 undergraduate majors and 43 minors. Students have plenty of choice. We have more than 2,300 undergraduate students, 520 graduate students. Last year, we placed 183 interns around the world. And right now, we have more than 22,000 and growing, 22,000 alumni. All the three pictures at the bottom are all undergraduates involved in different types of scholarship. So I just mentioned we have 26 undergraduate majors, 43 minors. What that comes out to is that we house the greatest range of academic programs in one place in South Dakota in public higher education. And afterwards, there's a small quiz on all of them, all the programming that we have. What we do is we break them up into three different categories: the social sciences, the humanities, and the sciences and mathematics. And what you can see here is if you have an academic interest, we probably speak to it. We can probably, you probably have something that you'd find interesting with us. I just have a lot to be proud of. Each one of our programs is outstanding. I've had the opportunity to speak with students and alumni that have graduated from each of our programs, and they just have nothing but really kind words to say about their professors, about the staff, and how impactful their time at USD has been. What I'm going to do is, give a very, very brief overview of just a couple of things that have happened in the last year, breaking them up by humanities, social sciences, and sciences. We could spend a long time talking about the greatness of the College of Arts and Sciences, and I will keep it very limited. So last year, 2018, the English department took the lead, and other departments participated in a celebration of the 200th anniversary of Shelley's Frankenstein. It was a two-day long or so event, which had flash lectures, of course, a birthday party with birthday cake, which was quite tasty. That we had it at in town at the theater, and one of the meetings I was at, I was speaking with some of the people that I didn't know, and we had people drive from 5 and 6 hours away to be here with us. I think it was a phenomenal time, and it was a well-advertised time, and it brought a lot of recognition to USD and to the English department. I'm proud to say that through tremendous efforts, we now have a Russian studies minor. It offers students an opportunity to cultivate a cultural and linguistic understanding of the Russian language and its people. And something that was just truly stunning. It shows that if you do good work, more good comes from it. Shortly after the Russian minor was announced, an alumna of USD and still current student stepped forward and created a $25,000 endowment to create a scholarship for students studying in the Russian minor. So I think I think what you're seeing here may be the beginning of just a wonderful, it is wonderful, but I think it's going to grow. And we'll just add another more strength to the College of Arts and Sciences. So I'm going to pivot now and talk about the social sciences. I could spend the rest of the day talking about the humanities, but social sciences and sciences may be a little upset if that's all I did. So I'll mention just a couple of items in the social sciences. Lindsay Jorgensen, one of our faculty members in communications, sciences, and disorders. One of her areas of study is looking at hearing loss of veterans who have experienced the hearing loss due to being near high energy explosions. And her efforts, her work, does improve their health and well-being of those veterans. Just phenomenal work that's important not just for for the veterans in the state of South Dakota, but veterans throughout the United States and in fact throughout the world. Just another example of work that's done here and that then has important implications throughout the world. I'm proud to say that the Cheesman Center for Democracy was in negotiations last year with our political science department, and those negotiations were fruitful, and now the Cheesman Center for Democracy is part of the Department of Political Science here at USD. And congratulations to our poli-sci department, as well as the folks at the Cheesman Center for making this happen. Moving on to science and math, we'll talk about just a couple of areas of great work that our scientists and mathematicians are working on. Stan May, a chemistry professor, has been working on using nanoparticles in order to thwart counterfeiters. This is, for me, this just resonates because about 20 years ago, I did some consulting work for a firm that was starting to look at it, but at using just that, but they were able to go nowhere with it. To see Stan making such progress is a real pleasure. And proud to also talk about Paula Mabey, who's part of a large project, Human Biomolecular Atlas Program. And I asked her to explain what that means, and her answer is just think of it as Google Map for the human body. So that's how I'm describing it to you. So it's a huge project, 4 years, $54 million project to do a Google Map for the human body. And these are the sorts of things that are happening in the College of Arts and Sciences here at USD. Oh, it didn't. So what I'm going to do is change the attention from, that was a little more faculty focused, and I want to change the attention, change this discussion to what's going on with our students and more of the direct faculty-student interactions. By the way, everything I talked about with Paula or with Stan, all of these projects clearly involve students as well. So didn't quite get everything working properly, but at least when I went to school, by and large, most of the education involved going into classrooms, sitting in classrooms, trying to stay awake in classrooms, of course doing homework, and that was good. I got a fine education, there's no doubt about it. We still do that, and we do it well here in the College of Arts and Sciences, but we do more than that. What we are aware of is just how important high-impact learning practices, high-impact practices are. One example of a high-impact practice is a study abroad, an immersive learning study abroad type program. In fact, if at the end of Rotary you run over to the muck and go into the pit, there's a study abroad fair going on in the pit, which I visited right before coming here. And it shows some of the many opportunities that our students have. I spoke with students that were advertising these opportunities, and they just have such a light in their eye. They're so jazzed up about what they had done and want to spread the word because it was so impactful in their lives. Whether it was speaking to students who went to Japan or to Hungary or wherever they went, they came back thinking this was one of the best things they've ever done. So in arts and sciences, we have a number of we've had a number and continue to have a number of study abroad opportunities. What I'm talking about here are faculty-led programs where students go with their faculty members for 1, 2, or even 3 weeks. So for example, every other year, professors in A&S lead a 3-week trip to Greece. It's 2 weeks of sailing from island to island, 1 week on the mainland. What an opportunity to spend 3 weeks where democracy was, Western democracy was created, and philosophy. This is a pretty unique and astounding opportunity for our students. We've had study abroad opportunities: Ireland, England, Galapagos Islands. Last summer, Kenya for a week. If I remember correct, oh yeah, last summer we also, criminal justice took students to New Zealand. It was pretty stunning. The trip to New Zealand, and I have an expert in the audience who can correct me if I'm wrong, but the trip to New Zealand was to look at their criminal justice system, in particular how their criminal justice system works with the native peoples in New Zealand, and compare and contrast to what we do here. Bottom line, in both countries, native peoples are overrepresented in the criminal justice system, and there are a number of things that New Zealand does better than we do. And so our students got to go there, got to compare and contrast, got to see what they're doing there that's better. That's deep learning, I'd say. And then hopefully when they bring it back here, we can improve. We can improve our society. I can think of few better things to do. We also, last summer, we also had a faculty-led program to Russia as well. Let's see, in the pit I saw there's a faculty-led program to Costa Rica and from A&S, and I don't remember what else. Peru, of course, Peru again. So we continue to have lots of fun opportunities with faculty-led programs. So one of the things, another high-impact opportunity for students is to be involved in cutting-edge research. So what you see here are 2, 4, 5 undergraduates that are involved in different areas of research. And when we involve, by and large, when we involve our students in research, these are meaningful experiences. And if you have an opportunity, I don't remember the date, to attend Idea Fest, it's a 2-day event here in the Muck. It's about, I think it's about 50 days from now. I think I just saw a sign. During Idea Fest, the undergraduates that have done research for this past year will present their work, either in an oral presentation or most in poster presentations. I went last year, it was my first year, and I went to Idea Fest. I had scheduled like an hour to be there, thinking that it would be cute. It wasn't cute, it was stunning, kind of knock your socks off. The quantity and quality of research that our undergraduates do truly impressed me, and so I cleared my schedule so I could spend a lot more time with them. I won't go into the details. I consider this an advertisement. If you have the time, look up when Idea Fest is, and if you have the time, try and make a little bit of time to go there. I think you'll be impressed by what our young people are doing. Let me point out too, this is a collaboration, right? That we have talented, hardworking students, and they have talented, hardworking, and incredibly dedicated faculty and staff to help make these things happen. So I've already talked a little bit about how we support our students academically. This point is financially. Arts and Sciences is so very fortunate to have dedicated alumni who want to ensure that A&S continues to be able to do what we've been doing, to have the same sort of impact on this generation as we did on their generation of student. So through their kind and generous donations, we're in a position where we're able to give out, and do give out, over $1.2 million a year in scholarship funding. Some fraction of that actually is for study abroad. We're able to give out a nice amount for study abroad opportunities. We can look through a dozen different lenses for figuring dozen different metrics for measuring student success. I'll pick one, which is just looking at the number of national award winners or award-winning students that we have. So USD in totality has 10 Rhodes Scholars. All of USD has 10 Rhodes Scholars. A&S has 10 Rhodes Scholars. Right? Every Rhodes Scholar from USD is actually a College of Arts and Sciences student, was a College of Arts and Sciences student. 34 Fulbright Scholars, 14 Truman Scholars. I think the same is true with the Truman Scholars. I think every Truman Scholar was an A&S student. And I don't remember the title, we're like a Truman's distinction. What is the title? We have produced so many Truman Scholars that we have a plaque pointing out that that's such a distinction. Not many institutions are able to do that. Goldwater's, Udall's, Gilman's, Boren Scholars, A&S, we are a machine to produce those students. Again, how do we do that? We have phenomenal, hardworking students that have terrific opportunities to work with faculty who are dedicated to them. So arts and sciences has been innovating, and we continue to innovate. So here are some things that we did, some of our innovations, scholarly innovations, program innovations for in 2017, 2018, created a new Department of Sustainability and Environment. 3 new minors, Russian Studies, Nonprofit Studies, and Linguistics, and 4 new certificate programs, Professional Ethics, Writing, Forensic Anthropology, and a graduate certificate in Spanish-English translation. So what we do is we look at what do we have, where are our areas of expertise, and what are students interested in? What will have a big impact on them? So we've done that, and we continue to do that. We continue to innovate. Looking forward, well, this fall we'll have a biomedical engineering degree, an undergraduate biomedical engineering degree, and it will be one, there's already a lot of interest in it. We're working on legal studies and neuroscience degrees, undergraduate degrees, both from our market research. These are areas of that students are interested in, and so we're here to help our students. So I have a somewhat captive audience, so what I'll do is dispel a myth. And this is a myth that I've, arts and sciences has been getting a bad rap over the years, the last few years. Questions like, why would you want to get a degree in arts and sciences abound, often from our political leadership. And what I'd like to do is take a moment to dispel some of the myths. One big myth is, right, go ahead and get a, philosophy is one of the programs that tends to be knocked quite often. And the thinking is, the conventional thinking is that if you get a philosophy degree, you'll go and wind up living in your parents' basement, working at a fast food restaurant. And no one wants that to happen. I have 3 children, and the idea of my children, although I love them deeply and dearly, none should come back and live in our basement. So if that was guaranteed to happen, none would be allowed to study philosophy, not on my dime. So let's take a look at what the reality of the situation is, though. And so I've highlighted philosophy, and 0 to 5 years out, the median salary is $42,000 a year. This is not the salary of someone who works at a fast food restaurant. This is not the salary of someone who is uneducated. This is not the salary of someone who is unable to contribute meaningfully to society. This is the salary of someone who's actually considered, in the workforce, considered valuable. So let's compare philosophy, the degree that gets you nowhere, with the degree that everyone knows gets you somewhere. And I pick on accounting because my wife's an accountant. And conventional wisdom is that's a good career. And it is. The median salary for an accountant, 0 to 5 years out, is $47,000. That's nothing to sneeze at. My point is not to knock accounting. Far from it. My point is simply to point out to you that philosophy doesn't do half bad. 0 to 5 years out, If you're making $42,000 and you're living with your parents, you've got a problem. You can live on your own at $42,000. Then let's look further into the future, 10 to 20 years out. 10 to 22 years out, a strange thing happens. 10 to 20 years out, the median salary for our philosophers is $82,000, and the median salary for our accountants is $73,000. And if we take it a little further, 20 years out, hopefully our careers last well over 20 years, our philosophers continue to outpace the accountants. I am not pushing, if someone came to me and wanted to be an accountant, by all means, go to the business school and study accounting. It is a good discipline. My point is that so is philosophy. And so over the past year and a half, and longer than that, arts and sciences has been getting the word out. This is one example of how we get the word out, the value of a degree in arts and sciences. I won't go into all of the rest. And the results have been, I think, dramatic. What I'm showing you is the number of new students, first-time, full-time students, that come to the College of Arts and Sciences by year. 2012, we had a record class of 537 students. The next year it dropped, and then it dropped, and it dropped and dropped again. So by the year 2017, our first-time, full-time incoming class was down from 537 to 366. Well, we started in a meaningful way to get the word out. And I'm pleased to say this past fall, for the first time in years, our incoming class grew. And grew in a meaningful way. I don't think that was not a tiny blip. We're continuing to get the word out, to point out in meaningful ways that if you come to A&S, at the end of those 4 years, by doing a deep dive into a discipline, whether it's a foreign language, philosophy, or physics, or any of the others that we offer, if you do a deep dive into that discipline and acquire a minor, which you have to with us, at the end of those 4 years, you'll obviously have deep knowledge about those disciplines, but along the way, you'll have picked up two amazing skills. What you'll be able to do is think critically, and you'll be able to communicate concisely and clearly. I can think of no other skill that's more important than being able to think critically. So, and I think that's why our philosophers, in the example I gave you, why they do so well. So where are we right now? Right now, we're also, as far as student enrollment seems to be doing well as we continue to get the message out. Right now, we have 265 more students admitted to arts and sciences than we did last year at this time. We typically get about a 60% yield rate, so we can expect about 60% of those students to come to USD and come to arts and sciences. I end this with a reminder of what our mission is, and just to do a bit of a shout out for my faculty and staff. When I came here a year and a half ago, and why I came here was because I saw faculty and staff that were cut above and beyond the rest, that were so very dedicated to our students, to their success, not just in gaining knowledge, but their success in life. Our faculty and staff, our faculty are dedicated to their disciplines. We have an unbelievable resource here at USD in our people. I want to acknowledge them, and I want to acknowledge the fact that they adhere to this mission. Sometimes, frankly, under trying circumstances, but they always keep our students first and foremost in their minds. All right, that's it for me. I would just wish to thank you for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them. Yes?
Have you included economics in one of the first slides? Would you put it under social sciences or science?
No, so economics would be a social science. I think some economists may disagree. Let's see if I can, there we go. So, and it's not there. Pay no attention to the slides on the. So, as you may know, economics is it's a funny discipline here at USD. Students can major either in, can do an economics major. It's either in A&S or in business. Why it's not up there? it's an oversight on my part. It belongs up in the social sciences. Thank you. Yeah. Don't do that. It's my fault. But thank you. Yes.
I was surprised to see that the arts and sciences only got 2,300 students. I was on the faculty here for 40 years, and I always thought arts and sciences was the largest group on campus. It is not, or is it?
Oh, I think we are. Yeah.
Where do the other 8,000 students fit there?
Oh, so it's 2,300 undergraduates, 500 graduate students, right? So we have 28, close to 3,000 undergrads plus graduate students. Yeah. Yes.
I know your wife, and I love her, but I don't want to live in her basement either. Picking on politicians, I wish Kruger could hear this presentation. But in addition to that, I think I know a legislator in Sioux Falls, and she's introduced a bill, as I understand it, requiring college students to take history.
Yeah, I think they're talking about it right now. Yeah.
I assume the regions will take a stand on that?
I assume so. It would be nice. I assume that one of the points of having a Board of Regents is that they would worry about the academics. And it surprises me that the legislature is worried at this level of detail about academics. We'll see how that goes. Yes?
What's the, I know sustainability is rather new, I think. What's the number of graduates so far with that?
I don't know how many have graduated. I'm sorry. It is a relative. So the department just was created this past year, although we've had programs for a little bit longer than that. That's a programming. That's a department program that I think is going to blossom. It will grow dramatically. Yeah. I think just one more question, because I don't want to keep.
Do you still have the 8 to 10 rule?
The 8 to 10 rule.
8 students or 8 students undergraduate to hold the class.
Oh, 4, 7, 10. Yeah, sure, we do. And
What's your take on that?
we get a little bit of, so we're not allowed, by and large, we can't run a class with an undergraduate class with fewer than 10 students. That's what he's referring to. We have a little bit of leeway. I'm okay with it. There are real fiscal concerns, and I get where they're coming from. So I'm okay with that. On the other hand, I've got to say, some of the most meaningful classes I had were when there were 6 other students in there, right? We can't do that here, or we can do it very infrequently here. Yeah, I should end it now so that you can go on and do other things. Yeah. Thank you.